jury. It's Sunday and we're all relaxing at home, we're relaxing here. Some of us might be wanting to read a book, and in the background this will just be soothing you as you go along. But we'll just be swearing and popping our clothes off, I expect here. So let's get straight on with the show. Are we ready for some hits and misses? In that case, let's meet the guests who are on this week. First of all, somebody who's worked with David Bowie, Pink Floyd, Janet Jackson. Her group, Blue Pearl, has had many hits themselves. From Los Angeles, California, ladies and gentlemen, Durga McBroom. Secondly, ladies and gentlemen, we've had many popular times on this show with this next act, we could say that. From that much-loved group, The Cure, all the way from Crawley in East Sussex, is that right? West Sussex. Crawley in West Sussex, Robert Smith, ladies and gentlemen. Graciously accepted. You all have seen her in television modernly today. The Late Show, Rapido, Network 7, from Ipswich, Gateway to Cromer, Suffolk, Tracey MacLeod, ladies and gentlemen. A new top comedian from Scotland who we'll be seeing much more of, especially during this show, Mr. Craig Ferguson from Glasgow. I see no reason why we shouldn't pop the cassette in and see the first act, which I believe is going to be Jimmy Somerville. There we are. Jimmy Somerville, To Love Somebody. It was a big hit for Nina Simone and the Bee Gees, written by the Gibb brothers. Craig, may I start with you?
I thought it was fab, Pickles. And it was great that he had his mum in it as well. I think it's great to have your mum in a video singing along with you.
Yes.
And she obviously approves of the haircut, which is a relief to me.
Yes. That's a nice opening gambit. I like that, yes.
Well, I'm not going to endorse any kind of ageist comment. I think it was nice the video looked like it had real people in it.
Yep.
It's a bit of a hard act to follow, because that song's been covered, as you say, by Nina Simone and also by Graham Parsons, a country rocker. And I like both those versions, so I found this one a little bit too UB40ish and a bit flat, but I think it's strange he's moving out of the dance sort of music when everyone else has moved into it, but maybe it's a good thing.
Robert?
Yeah, this is really difficult. I didn't really like it, I must admit, because UB40 have just been mentioned, and they're not top of my all-time greatest groups list. And Jimmy Somerville, it's sort of like God bless him, and he does lots of really worthy things and everything, but I've never been a big Jimmy Somerville fan, I must admit, and that wouldn't really convince me.
He has written Remember to Be Nice down on his pad, which I think is really sweet.
Yes, I'm being very nice about it. I thought it was really dreadful. If I was being honest.
Fair enough, don't mince your words. Durga.
I think it's very nice to see him looking somewhat relaxed for a change.
Yeah.
And it was a nice, easy song. I mean, nothing that really blew me out of the water, but it was very listenable. And the video itself also was a bit generic, but nice to watch as well. So, nice.
Let's, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, vote on the first record. Let's please, Jimmy Somerville, To Love Somebody. Is it a hit or a miss? You have those discs in front of you. Display them as you will. Well, there we are. It's a hit, ladies and gentlemen. And that is clearly the sound. From now on, I just don't even bother talking to the sound man here, but that's clearly the sound he's decided on for a hit this week. Can we hear that again, please, Ian? Thank you. Have you been drinking, Ian? That's Ian. Good. And what's the sound for Miss this week? Lovely. Okay then, Ian. Thank you. So let's get on with the next record. I think we'll push this jukebox. Our definition of sound now is tomorrow. And apparently, this might influence what you think of the record. The girl singer, the group found her working in the reception of the recording studio. And there she is. That's what happens in showbiz. Tracey, did you like that?
Well, it was certainly beefy. It sounded like they'd been listening to the De La Soul records a bit too carefully. And I don't really have much of an opinion about it, apart from the fact that I don't really think she was crying. I think someone had come with some tweezers and picked out one of her nose hairs. I don't think it was a real tear.
No, onions were out there.
Onions, no, tweezers, I think.
Tweezers. Robert?
You must know some horrible people to have thought that. Nice things to say about it. I thought her voice was really good, and it had like a really good sort of woomphy sound. If you listen to it on like big speakers, it's sort of... But I really... That's the nice things to say about it. I just hate that rapping. I really have always hated it, and I can't... Well, I haven't really tried to force myself to like it, because what's the point? I just hate it.
There's no point in forcing yourself into yeah.
If she'd just sang the whole thing, I think I would have liked it.
In a melodic sort of way?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm old-fashioned.
I love a song. I love a song and a melody. Yeah. Durga, did you like her voice?
Yeah, I think she has a lovely voice. And the thing about this song, though, is it's in that very repetitive, sort of unfortunately catchy kind of mode that makes songs do quite well, but is not very exciting. I mean, it just kind of goes on and on and on and on, and the music stays the same in the back, and some guy comes in and raps over it, and then the singing comes, and the music just goes on and on. So, because of that, it'll probably do well, but I don't like it that much.
Craig?
It was fine. And it had...
Thank you.
It was kind of like every record that you hear on the radio when you're not really listening to it. It's just that stuff that's wallpaper of it. I believe she was crying.
And it was beefy.
And it was beefy, very beefy.
Like Desperate Dan sort of thing when you say...
Yeah, beefy, big chins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cow pie.
Cow pie.
Let's vote on it, I think, ladies and gentlemen of a jury.
I haven't got one that says beefy here, so...
Oh dear, well, unfortunately it is a... and so, I think one of our guests last week was the singer and writer from the Pixies, and now here he is, being judged himself. There we are, the Pixies. What did you like that, did you? Oh, it's interesting that the Ugly Mob seemed to quite like that. A lot of sidecars in that as well. Robert, did you...
I really like the Pixies. I think they're one of those groups that's got it. Everyone in the group sort of knows what they're doing, and they don't really overstate what they're doing. I was a bit dubious about the video. I really don't like those things that people put in their heads to sing so they can wave their arms about.
Yes.
But put in context of like getting into the sidecars of very dodgy Dutch Hell's Angels, I suppose it all makes perfect sense.
Yes, they were dodgy Dutch Hell's Angels, weren't
They
they?
were very dodgy Dutch Hell's Angels.
They had sidecars because they couldn't stand up.
It sounds really good, and that's sort of my kind of dance music.
Right, good.
I think the one shot in that video that I really liked was that slow fade into where the motorcycles and sidecars appear. I thought that was really cool, and the rest of it was okay. The song itself, I think, is really... I like the song. I like what they do in it. Unfortunately, I think that it might be a little bit too ahead of its time.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
So can that.
And I would like to see this do well. I'm not sure if it will.
Craig?
I'm not surprised that Robert liked it, because it sounds like the boys in this band will be listening a bit to Robert's pop group for a wee while. To be
Well, he was
really
on
honest.
last week, and he liked Black Francis was on. He loved Robert. He was a very nice bloke.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he is. I think he's taken a lot of what his pop group does from Robert. That's all. And I quite like the fact that there was obviously a receptionist in this one as well, because you see them strapping on this stuff.
Yes.
It's obviously, because there was only Chicory Tip.
Chicory Tip.
Yeah, they weren't receptionists, but they are now.
Right. Yes. Son of your father, I think, was the
Son
secretary.
of my father,
Was
I
it?
think,
That's
Jules.
right,
Yeah,
that's it,
son
yeah.
of my father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What an irritating record that was. But we're not here to discuss that right now. Tracy.
Well, I thought it was interesting that Durga should say it was ahead of its time, because in a way it's kind of old-fashioned in that it uses real instruments and real drumming rather than, that kind of computerized, relentless beat that most records that get in the charts seem to have. So in that way, I don't think it ever would get in the charts, which is a shame, because they're obviously a band where when you listen to them, you know there's something going on. I think they're a good band, but I don't think it would be a hit.
Let me ask you then, please, to vote. The Pixies, Dig for Fire, hit or a miss?
We'll vote. To influence people.
Yeah,
shall we?
yeah. You can influence people. And it is a hit. On Vogue, ladies and gentlemen, You Don't Have to Worry, a brand new single, their first single, I think. There we are, on Vogue, You Don't Have to Worry. Did you like that? Oh. I did say that it was their first single. Of course, it isn't. It isn't. I was getting them confused with somebody else. I was heady with the cakes and everything. They've had a big hit. One of them is the former Miss Black America, I believe. And there you have it. Craig, did you like that?
More receptionists.
No,
Yes!
no receptionist there.
Yeah, there was receptionists. They were real
They did.
receptionist things. Yes! More receptionists doing well when Chicory Tit haven't changed their image and gone with the flow, man. I think it's great that receptionists are doing so well in the pop charts. Or maybe not, I don't know. But they were great. I thought, well, not really. It's kind of so what.
Tracey.
Well, they're one of these sort of manufactured new wave of girl groups, aren't they, in America? I don't really know that much about them. There seems to be something very weird going on in the video with lots of stamen and things like that. Obviously sexual symbolism, but I don't really have much of an opinion about it. It's that kind of Jam and Lewis sound, really, that either you love it or you hate it.
Robert.
The backing vocals on that made it really good. The girls on there sounded like they were enjoying singing, and despite everything, I wish I hadn't seen the video because I've heard that a couple of times, and I thought it was. I wish they'd done a video that didn't have them in black and white, all sort of going. And again, they've got like the stupid things where they can do this with. It's like they should be working with Tim Pope. They'd be good because they've got really good voices, and it's a pretty dull and dumb song and stuff. But there's something about them. I don't know. I don't like them, but I thought that was all right.
Durga?
I think that those girls are very talented. They sing so well together. I was singing, you know, hold on to your love.
I thought that was
in there, and it's like, no, I was just doing that because you could interchange the two. The DJs will love it because you can just switch them, you know. And I think they can do a lot better.
So then, on Vogue, You Don't Have to Worry. Was it a hit? Is it a miss?
Can you do that?
No.
Can you do this?
You really
Which
have
means
to
you
do
wish
that?
it weren't.
It was a hit, ladies and gentlemen. Very sad. As you voted a hit, you can all have some lovely... your mic cable isn't there. You can all have some of these. We've had mushrooms, we've had space cake, and this week we've got some sweeties. So here's a bit of heavy metal, I expect. Well, Tracey, let me start with you.
Well, a dirty job. I think there's been quite a long queue down at the job centre for that kind of job. I don't know why they were all wearing those gas masks. I thought they get pretty sweaty with that kind of activity, but I didn't really see it. Couldn't really see it. There seems to be a question with heavy metal videos of what you can get away with now and how far you can get with those little subliminal shots of people's buttocks and things waving around in front of the camera. It's all a little bit unnecessary, if you ask me.
Robert?
Well, I was really trying to be nice.
You don't have to be.
And it's Rats with a silent P, and I hope they're the special guests as well.
Yeah.
Listening to this is a dirty job, but this is so typical. It's so typical, it's boring. Everybody in America that gets into this kind of music makes music like this. There's nothing special about this song, there's nothing special about this band. I don't like them, I don't like this video.
Well... Craig.
I thought it was great. It's a joke, obviously. It's obviously a joke.
No.
Ah, it's great. It's Spinal Tap. It's Spinal Tap. What's wrong with being sexy? Sexist, Nigel, is it? It's a joke. It's a joke.
The what?
The sad thing about this video is that it's not a joke. No. If this were a joke, like Dave Lee Roth's video stuff, it would be great. But they take themselves too seriously, I'm sorry.
Is it a hit or a miss? Quick. It's a unanimous. And I think the crowd appreciated that. So, moving along quickly, and I think we've got EMF. EMF, ladies and gentlemen, unbelievable. Well, please views of the mob like that. What about the jury? Craig?
No, I thought it was great, and I really liked... Yeah, it was good. They did something funny with chords.
It was good, that bit.
Yeah, I like
loved
that. It went
bit.
down, and you thought it was going to go up, and it went down, didn't it?
Good cause.
Yeah, and you know, because you do that.
Tracy, did you like that?
Well, I'd say the word beefy again if I didn't think Craig would just copy me. But I think it's you know, definitely the best song we've heard so far. No, it sounds, you know, it's got a little bit of everything thrown in, and it sounded really good.
Robert?
It looks like it'd be good fun to be in them.
Yes.
You know, they've got that, and anyone that wears Vision streetwear's got to be halfway all right. I don't know, some of it's a bit mannered, but it's a great underneath sound again. It's like all sort of woomphy again. Don't know, yeah, I was tapping my feet. Yeah, well,
You get too
who
close.
knows? Who knows?
Yes, me. I really find them boring, to tell you the truth.
Wasn't your cup of tea?
Sorry, I do. They did do that nice little chord progression in the chorus, which I thought was a nice attempt to lead it out of sounding like about 6 other songs that I could think of. But I ain't into them. But I do think it will do well.
Do you think it'll do well, huh?
Just one thing, I think I'd be a bit dubious if this is their first single. I wouldn't have it as my first single.
Would you not? Why
Well,
not?
because they're opening themselves up for all that sort of criticism, which is quite true. It isn't different enough to be a first single. But having said that,
You
because
think
they look as if they're really like enjoying it, they've got that sort of, they look like they've got that in the group. So if they get as far as like a third single, they'll probably do something that's a lot better.
But don't you think if you're looking at sitting on this panel and they're on the telly and it's their first single, you can't start thinking, well, okay, let's see their third single. I mean, it's their first single, so let's look at their first single and say, yeah, it's good.
Well, only if they don't have any intention of making a third single, then I accept that.
What? That's shut up. They're shouting at something outside over there. Anyway, it was a good different chorus. Overall, all I can ask you is to vote, please, on EMF. Unbelievable. Well, it's a hit, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm very pleased to say that now this week's mystery guest. Are you there? Everybody was perfectly nice, as I said they would be. Oh, hello.
Hi, Jules.
Hello, well done. Is he your hero? There you go then. Thanks for coming on. EMF, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, sorry. Here, have this. There's there we are. The shaping of the modern world. There you go.
Oh, great.
It was worth coming on there.
It's a good job you didn't say on the transfer, you'd lost another job.
Yeah. Thank you.
I heard that.
Did you? Right then. Oh, take it to that fridge. Cake's all right?
Wonderful.
They're lovely.
Would you like a bit of sweets up there, Craig?
Please.
I just try, I try to keep it simple. Oh, nearly gone off the end.
Thank
but never.
you.
There we are. So anyway, Whycliffe and Love Speak Up is next. Talking about love. There we are, Whycliffe, Love Speak Up. Do you like that? Well, he's 21. He's from Nottingham, and it's his first single. Durga, what did you?
This song grows on you, actually. I mean, I've only heard it, this is the second time I've heard it, and I actually like it more than the first time I heard it. It makes me sad to think that he's going to run up against innumerable comparisons to Terence Trent D'Arby because of the way he sings. He's got a great voice, though, on its own. And I really like the vocal arrangements. I think the video and the song could have gone a little bit farther. I mean, it sounded like it was a good start, and they could have put more into it. But as it is, I think it's good, and I hope people like it.
Yes. Robert.
It's I don't know. It's sort of damning for me to say that it doesn't mean anything to me. It's one of those sort of songs. There's like lots of music that I don't really like, and that just goes on, and lots of people do like it. And this is probably one of those things. I mean, being compared to Terence Trent D'Arby, is for me, it would be a really damning criticism because I think he's awful. This wasn't as bad as Terence Trent D'Arby for me, but seeing the video, there's nothing happens. It's like you can't be that serious and be that, expect people to take you that serious and expect people to care if you haven't done anything before. I mean, I know he's done lots of things before him because he's 21 years old, but you don't know that, and it's too much to expect.
Yes. Tracey?
Wasn't you playing the piano on that, was it?
No, it was a sampled piano.
No.
I could tell you this.
Sampled piano?
Yeah, and it didn't sound very good.
Well, there was a bloke in the video playing it.
Just as a piano, on piano sounds, not that we're reviewing that, I didn't think it was very good, but there you are.
Well, I thank you for the expert witness on that. I thought he had a good voice again, and obviously he does sound like Terence Trent D'Arby, and I sort of agree with Robert really about the kind of reverential way he's being handed to us, and you can imagine the sort of hype that will go around the guy as it's his debut single, that he's the next big thing, and they'll present him in this very solemn way as if he's an incredibly mature artist and all that. We just have to see what he'll do.
Craig?
I thought it was great. I can't kind of say that I really, maybe I'm too, I've seen too many videos on the telly and everything, but I just watched it and thought, well, there are some guys in a nice church, which is lovely, and I thought it was really good actually, and they weren't acting or anything. It's just, you know what you're like when you're 21, you sing a song, you want to be quite serious about it.
Until I saw this board, I thought it was Whycliffe.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so existential, Robert.
Because it doesn't fit what he looks like in the video, and I thought, what an excellent name. That's why I was expecting the video that's like Whycliffe. I thought, that when's it going to happen? When's someone going to like fall through the roof onto him? It's like,
But there were no
and he would say, Whycliffe?
Yeah. There were no questions, just answers in the video, really, weren't there? I think. Yes. Well, thank you for your lovely opinions. Could I have your voting system, please? Oh, it's level bevels, even Stephen. So we throw it to the mob rule then. It's ready. Thank you, Ian. Yes, lovely. The mob. First of all, did you like it? Well, it's not up to you. It's up to these three selected members here. It is a hit, ladies and gentlemen. What was your favourite video and song, Durga?
Oh, God. My favourite thing was the introduction to the show.
Courtney Pine.
With the blue nails and the eyeshadow. That's my favourite.
Courtney Pine, yeah.
Can I say that?
Yep.
That's my favourite.
Courtney Pine will hopefully will be listening. He did the music, and there. Good.
That's my favourite.
That's not fair. Can I pick a different programme then?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. That's what we like to hear, yeah.
No, I won't pick that. I honestly, I don't think any of the videos are. Like a couple of the songs were alright, but I think the videos were dreadful all in all.
I think you're
tonight.
right. On the whole, the standard of videos are appalling, aren't
dull, very, very dull. And so I'll abstain from that. They were
well,
all
what songs did you like then?
I thought that EMF had a bit of life to it, and I thought that On Vogue was good as well.
Tracey?
Yeah, I kind of agree about the videos. I think the EMF video and song were definitely the best just because it was unpretentious. It was just them in performance having a good time, and they weren't like arty shots of sidecars going into the dusk and all that.
Craig?
I thought the EMF one was best. I liked the video as well, and I thought it was okay, and I'm looking forward to seeing the third single and hope I can be back to judge on it then.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please a big hand for all of our fantastic guests, Mr. Craig Ferguson, Tracey MacLeod, Robert Smith, and Durga McBroom. And we'll be back in our land of fantasy with all of the hits and stuff next week. Goodbye.